You're the executive director at Women in Management, Business, and Public Service. I'm on a mission. I'm the chairman of Unstoppable Foundation with Unstoppable Women, Cynthia Kersey. I have three daughters and an entrepreneurial wife as well. And I am flabbergasted as a father and a husband and someone who tries to help as many women as I can create more equity and opportunity because we're not giving the money to women. And women are much more successful statistically than men. The percentages are outrageous. So I created Meltzer Funding. You can go to meltzerfunding.com for women and women of color to give them bridge capital because less than 3% of women, and especially women of color, don't get capital for their business ventures, and they're better at it. So it would be like paying Tom Brady less money because he was Tom Brady. That doesn't make any sense. You obviously, in your book, facilitate this client is upset, but inherent in it is practical tips that are there. What tips can you give us to help create more opportunity equity that should be available in this country?
First, let me commend you for the great work that you're doing with providing access to finance for women, and you're very spot on all the statistics that you reeled out. I mean, my book, Oops, the Client is Upset, is focused more on customer service officers, but from the angle of the customer service officer now, because they get to relate with clients over and over again on a daily basis with diverse exposure, diverse expectations, and you're expected to deliver excellent service day in, day out from an epitome of understanding, patience, and empathy. And the truth is, you cannot pour from an empty cup. An emotionally drained person cannot render excellent service. So in that regard, the tips that I try to offer is to, first of all, get these client-facing professionals, especially women, to sort of accept and understand that angry or being upset is normal. Why is it normal? Because we are emotional beings. We are driven by our emotions. So just like expressing happiness, fear, anxiety, and all of that is still the same thing with anger. So we need to accept that and not take it personal, which is the first thing that I say when I talk to people about servicing their mind. But without debating too much, if we want to talk about equity and the tips, first is the awareness, which is one of the statistics that you have reeled out, being able to create awareness on the gap that exists, because quite a lot of people do not know. I worked in the financial industry for about 18 years, and I see the statistics when it comes to the women that access loans in the financial industry here in Nigeria and even across the globe. I worked with the Women World Banking, and these statistics are real, peculiar across the globe.
And why did you pick the subject matter that you did as far as customer service goes? And was it that it best was relative to understanding, processing of our feelings, our emotions, or was it to elevate the awareness to the empathetic approach, even if we're at a disadvantage or diminished in our capacity of understanding how best we can improve our situation? What was the motivation between, one, picking the subject matter that you did, and then two, focusing in on the customer service as the main core education platform to facilitate the empathetic mind?
Thank you. So I started my career as a customer service officer, and I can relate with the emotional toll of having to deal with different customers on a daily basis with different expectations as well as different demands. And I know that most times organizations focus more on just telling the client, the customer service officers to render excellent service back to back, but we forget to address the emotional well-being and the toll that it takes on the customer service officer. And that's why I decided to focus on that topic and sort of create that awareness. And I'm really literally trying to spread that awareness across the globe because it's peculiar. I even did a survey before writing the book, trying to find out the most challenging part of you being a customer service officer. And 52% of the respondents talked about the challenges of dealing with an angry customers. So you always will get to face these clients. The book, I have Shep Hyken, the customer service expert, wrote the foreword of the book, and he too has statistics to back this up. So it's a real silent struggle that I really want to bring to the forefront, and also help client-facing professionals manage the situation and how to be able to deal with it and still render the excellent service that is expected of them.
I love it. And just to finish up, I think the sequel to this book would be something I'm interested if you'd be willing to write. And if the lessons and tips that are applicable in Oops, the Client is Upset would also be applicable to the sequel, I think you should write, which is Oops, My Child is Upset. Is there similarities between the customer service tips that you give and being a great parent?
Absolutely. And I did even mention in the book that the principles are the same. Your child is your client, depending on how you look at it. So the principles are the same. And yes, Oops, the Child is Upset is definitely a sequel that should come. The principles are the same. You just need to understand that we are all emotional beings, and the best way for us to express ourselves is through these emotions. Now, understanding that and accepting how to deal with it is definitely, and I will take you up on that sequel.
Well, good. I will give you a testimonial, open myself up to giving you a forward or finding someone even better. But congratulations on your amazing book. Congratulations in joining me in our efforts to provide more opportunity and equity in those opportunity by the appreciation of others. And I will tell you, the best investment that you can make on earth is in a woman. And they just have greater capacity and greater harmony within their context of helping us all succeed. It's inherent, I believe, in their genetic and energetic inheritance around the world, from Nigeria to the United States. Omowu, thank you so much for joining me. I will practice saying your name, so next time I will be fluent in your name. Everybody, go get the book, Oops, the Client is Upset. It will help you with practical tips for utilizing any type of person in our lives to provide value and to keep ease and get rid of the emotional dis-ease. I'll see you soon. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you, David.